What's going on, guys? I just wanted to give a little tutorial of how I put together my 4th of July fireworks show every year. So basically just ball out, get some cakes, you want to have an assortment from like this smaller stuff to bigger stuff. So basically you flip the cake over. You got to get yourself a board as well. You flip the cake over, you see this bottom here. So you cut that out with a razor blade. And you have this left. Okay, this is the bottom of the cake. So then you take this stuff called liquid nails, right there. Put that in your caulking gun. And then you put it all around these tubes. And then you glue it to this board. And then from there, I will show you guys, once I have that done, how I fuse everything. So I have 3 different types of fuse here. We got quick fuse, medium fuse, and the longer, slower burning stuff. So that's about all you need. So yeah, I'm going to get these cut out and glued to this board in the position that I want. So it's pretty important how you put these down, because there's different spaces between each cake here I have marked out. So this cake is 20 seconds long, so I want to account for that with this fuse. So this fuse burns at 24 to 28 seconds per foot. So if I put maybe a little bit less than a foot here, I'll have a perfect amount of time between this cake and the next one. So one thing I want to mention before I glue all these down is you want to look for something like this. If you have a cake like this, you're golden in the transitions. Because, okay, so if you see, this is a lot smaller than this. So you want to go to, from smallest to biggest, obviously. And something like this is a perfect transition because it takes you right from this size shot right here to something like this. So I would put this right after this one. And you just want to pay attention to that kind of stuff. All right, so I just got everything set down here and glued. Everything spaced out accordingly. So we're gonna get to fusing this now. One tip I forgot to mention: pull out all your fuses before you do this, because it can be a bitch just to get all the fuses out when they're in like a tight space like this. Especially like that. Now you might say, oh, that might catch, but I'm gonna put some kind of protectant here. I think I'm gonna either, well, first of all, this has wood around it, so it's not gonna catch. But even if it did, I'm gonna put some duct tape or maybe aluminum foil, I was thinking. Just some right here, maybe both, just to make sure that this doesn't go off before any of this stuff, because that would really suck. So just have to be cautious. I mean, there's a slight chance, a small chance of something happening with that, but it's whatever. But yeah, I think we'll be good. So I just need to get this fuse out and start measuring. All right, guys, so I just finished fusing up everything. I think it went pretty damn good. So we have our starter fuse here. I put zip ties and a little bit of electrical tape. You don't want to put too much. It might like drown the fuse out, not give it enough air. That's just what I was thinking about. So as you can see, zip ties. And I just used this quicker fuse because this is a longer distance to cover to right here. And I got right back into the green. You can see how I transition them there. Just zip tie them down here. These two are the same cake, just a different label with a little bit of different colors in each. They have the same effects though, so I put the fast fuse between these. So these are going to be going off relatively at the same time. And then it goes around to this. As you can see, I left some slack here so we don't have them going off like at the same time. So as you can see, there's a good amount there. And the next one, there's a good amount. And then to the big one. There we go. And then, so if I want to add to this, all I'll do, I left a few inches of slack here. So all I have to do is continue this method of zip tying the fuses together, putting a little bit of electrical tape on them to seal them. And then, yeah, so what I'm going to do now is fuse up my mortars. That's going to be a perfect transition. I'm going to put some quicker fuse to this so you don't have to wait too long for the bigger stuff to go off. But for now, the cakes are all fused. Everything is timed properly. So yeah, that's a basic cake fusing. I will get into the mortars next. All right, guys, so this is going to be the finale. As far as I know, this is the biggest stuff I own. So what we have here are some canister shells. So we have, this is Echo in the Ear, 5-inch. These are 5-inch Nishiki Blast. These are 4-inch Sir Lancelots, or Excaliburs, whatever you want to call them. Then we have these 5-inch titanium Not For the Weak shells. These are labeled, so that's going to help us put together our effects in this rack. So, like I said, this rack is not pretty, but this thing is very sturdy, okay? I can lift it up by any piece of this wood that I wanted to. And these tubes, although they have like a centimeter on each side of play, there's no way they're going anywhere. Like, okay, so let me show you guys these real quick. These are actually my favorite shell that I own. These are called zombie minions, okay? And they don't look like much, right? So look, that's the difference, right? 5-inch canister shell, little ball shell. These are actually easily the loudest things that I have. You can feel these in your chest, and they echo, especially where I live in a big field. You can hear them echo for about 5 to 6 seconds after you light one of these off. It is so nuts. So these are going to be in the finale for sure. So these are 2-inch. I think they're 2-inch, but you want high density polyurethane. It's HDPE when you buy them online. They're probably your best bet if you want to make your own rack. Don't follow what I did here to make a rack. I mean, you can if you want to, but I'm sure there's better videos out there about how to make a rack. But yeah, these tubes are extremely reliable and safe for any 2-inch mortars that you have. So yeah, just make sure you're buying packs. Like, you can tell like that these, they fit in there. So once I get one out, I'll show you guys how they don't perfectly snug fit in, but you don't want them to, because then they're not going to go as high. So with a big assortment like the T-Sky Not For the Weak shells, you get to be picky with what you have in your finale here. So you have effects all right here, what they look like, and then they're numbered. So if you go over to your shells, once you pull them all out, they'll be numbered. Okay, there's 13 and 14. There's 1, 2, 6. Okay, see that? So each one of these has exactly what they do. So I really like crackling and strobes, so that's what I'm going to be putting in this show. So I'm probably going to use about, out of 12 shots, I'd say I'd want 4 or 5 of these to be the Not For the Weak. Because like I said, I have, these little ones are louder, so I'm going to mix them in the end here. So, all right, guys. I think I figured out the final setup that I'm going to use. This was very complicated because there's a lot of effects to choose from. But I tried to stay with red, white, and blue theme since it's the 4th. So, starting out, red, blue, and white glitter. Then we have a Nishiki Blast, Beautiful shell. It's a Nishiki Willow with peach. Then we have another Sir Lancelot. This is blue and white glitter. And you can see they don't fit perfectly, but they have a little bit of room. And that is what you want when you shoot these off. Then we have another Nishiki Blast, the blinding gold shell. This is the teal one. A Not for the Weak red peony. I think that's how you say it. Another Not for the Weak silver. So this will be like our red, white, and blue in a row. And then this last one is our blue peony. Here is our zombie minion salute shell. Red wave with crackling. Another salute. Another Not for the Weak. This one is a silver strobe with a blue star. And then finally, we have another salute shell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, this is what you guys got to think about. So you have all these tubes, because as far as I know, legally you can't buy the shells themselves without the tubes that they come with. So every one of these big packs, like the Not for the Weak, is going to come with at least 2 of these tubes, I mean, and they're going to be sufficient for these shells. Same with all the rest of the shells. They should all come with a tube. So I'm going to wire them up later, but they're actually all sitting outside right now. So this is just for the last 12 shots. So you need to think about that. You want this to be quicker, more fast-paced, bigger bangs, everything. You want this to be the grand finale. So each one of these that the shells came with is going to have a shot in it as well, and that's also going to be fused up. So what I'm going to do is take the one shell that I want from each pack and fuse it up, connect it to a string of fuse. So all I have to do when I'm done shooting my single shots is walk out and lay the sequence of all the shells in a row on a slow fuse, and then fuse that to this. You want to make sure you don't have any fuse crossing into other ones, because then it'll go out of order and that'll suck. So just be careful with that. All right, guys, the mortars are finished. So we have our start right here. I use as many zip ties as possible just to make sure there's the most contact with these fuses, just to make sure they go off. This is going to be really nice. Basically, when I get out there on the 4th, I'm just going to tie these together real quick. What I have left over there and what I have left here. And that'll be our transition. So yeah, I will see you guys on the 4th when I upload my video. And be safe making all this stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be safe making your firework displays. I hope everything works out for you guys. And have a good 4th of July party.